Well, a very good afternoon to you and welcome to EBN News at 1. It is exactly 1 p.m. I do hope your Friday started off well from wherever you are watching this specific bulletin. My name is Samia Dika. Now, starting us off, former Tourism Cabinet Secretary Najib Balala was earlier in the day arrested alongside other ex-officials from the ministry. Detective from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC on Friday arrested Balala Leaguillo, that is the former PS Tourism, Joseph Odero, Managing Partner, West Consult Engineers, and Flora Ngina, former ICT Manager, Tourism Fund. The four suspects have been arrested over procurement fraud and irregular payment of over 8 billion Kenya shillings in the construction of the proposed Ronald Ngala Utalii College in Vipingo. Now, the arrested suspects are said to be charged with 3 offences, among them willful failure to comply with the laws relating to procurement, unlawful acquisition of public property, and abuse of office. We will be keeping you up to date with that specific news making headlines. Currently, we are waiting to see where they will be taken to. We do understand that according to EACC spokesperson Eric Ngumbi, the suspects will be transferred to the Anti-Corruption Court in Malindi for further action. We're actually waiting to see how that will go along, and we will be here to update you on that and many more. Now, shifting gears, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has slammed President William Ruto for seeking jobs abroad for the Kenyan youth. Odinga says that the government should rather focus on creating employment locally and empower the youth to develop their country. Speaking in Siaya County, the opposition leader also faulted the government for frustrating the devolved units by delaying to release funds.
The responsibility of the government is to create jobs in the country, not to search for jobs outside. Because in those other countries, those governments are also looking for jobs for their own people. So it is the responsibility of the government of the day to create jobs. This is information that Mr. Ruto needs to know. At reached very high levels here in the country. You've seen what has been happening. The issue of children not getting their examination results. The examination is a mess, completely. Infrastructure is a mess. The oil deal, a mess. You can go on and on and on. Messes that Mr. Ruto has committed. We have said that this country is not on sale. This country is not for auction. Kenyans deserve better.
Na Siaya, kuna wazalendo walijitokeza kuona ya kwamba uhuru umekuja hapa Kenya. Kwa hivyo tunataka serikali bandia ya Kenya kwanza iheshimu watu wa Siaya. Lazima waheshimu watu wa Siaya na waheshimu watu ambao wako Nyanza nzima. Kwa hivyo tunasema hii serikali bandia ya Ruto, tunatoa onyo ya kwamba Wandai na wenzake walipokuwa wanaongea na baba wakasema bei za bidhaa zirudi chini, na wakakataa. Sasa tunasema hapo juu ya swala la bei za vitu bidhaa Kenya nzima.
Ruto, when you want to raise revenue to develop this country, you don't raise the levels of taxes. You don't raise the levels of taxes. In fact, you reduce the levels of taxes.
Well, now crossing over to Nandi, the family of Brian Kipyegon has been left in shock after their 16-year-old son developed complications after undergoing circumcision. Kericho County Health Chief Officer Dr. Betty Langat noted that 5 other boys were admitted at Kericho County Hospital after undergoing circumcision at the same place. Now, the county government has vowed to crack down on individuals conducting the procedures to ensure they adhere to the required standards.
Alikuja aliniambia Kipyegon alisikia kabisa chungu ndani ya tumbo kabisa. Tulifanya nini? Aliniambia ni afadhali kupeleka hospitali kupima hiyo ni nini. Ni nini hiyo ndani yake. Akikula aletapika, akikula aletapika. Alienda baba yake alienda kuleta daktari mwingine jirani. Daktari hiyo alikuja aliona tumbo ya Kipyegon, alishika, alisema labda ni amoeba.
We had 2 of the initiates who had underlying conditions that was not known by the parents or the initiate before being circumcised. Both of them were diagnosed with diabetes. It's unfortunate that we lost both before they were released from seclusion.
Moving forward, as a county government, we will be engaging all our public health officers who will be going round to all our seclusion spaces to ensure that the children are safe, that the homes and the families that are hosting these children are adhering to all public health protocols that we have provided as a county government, because the nature of this procedure is very delicate and we want to ensure safety for all our children.
There are some procedures which are supposed to be followed to make sure that is aseptic in nature. But sometimes when the traditional circumcisers are used, they may not really look at the hygiene that is required for this.
Well, now on matters security, 3 suspected bandits have been arrested in possession of stolen livestock in Mururuti. This comes even as Samburu County security agencies meet to establish strategies that will ensure insecurity in the county is put to sleep. The meeting was attended by Samburu County Governor Lati Lelelit, follows President William Ruto's directive to security agencies in the region to establish long-lasting solutions to the insecurity cases that has left many dead and property worth millions destroyed.
Kule Laikipia tumeweza kurejesha 52 kufikia hivi leo, na tunatarajia wale wengine waweze kufikia idadi ambayo inatakikana.
I decided to go through the soko. Tukapata ile watu wanauza hiyo mbuzi 3 na wameshikwa, tumeshika pamoja na polisi wako Rumuruti. So now mbuzi ya Letoroi 210 mbili leo ilikuwa inauza soko na wale watu wanauza wanajulikana. So to me that is slam dunk kwa basketball.
Na sisi kama wafugaji tunaogopa sana serikali ikishika mali yetu, hata kama sisi sio wahalifu, na tunawahimiza hawa waweze kushika mbuzi ya wale jamii ama ile jamii ambayo inaweza wale ambao wameiba mali ya mwingine.
Ni furaha kubwa, lakini japokuwa sijaamini kwa sababu mengi yameshuhudiwa hapo awali, lakini hatujaiona.
Now on matters Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Mithika Linturi has flagged off the second consignment of fertilizer for Kenya Tea Development Agency KTDA farmers. According to the CS, the consignment totaling over 45,000 tons of fertilizer aims to enable the tea farmers to competitively produce crops and contribute to the managing the cost of living. Now, while presiding over the flagging off of the second consignment at the port of Mombasa on Thursday, Linturi acknowledged the challenging circumstances of its arrival, attributing the delay to global conflicts.
Tuna raha hapa sababu siku ya leo tunawapelekea wakulima
tani 45,000, 45,000 metric tons of fertilizer to our farmers is what we are flagging off today. That translates to over 900,000 bags that we want our farmers to use to apply their tea. And this is as a result of the commitment that the government has made to continually support our farmers. And I want to thank the Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA, for really being there and making sure that whenever our tea farmers require fertilizer, then fertilizer is available. I remember we are here in October when we also released another batch of around 45,000, and that fertilizer has been properly utilized during this rain season. Ile unaweka fertilizer mingi kwa mimea yako ndio itakuwa na mazao mingi zaidi. Kwa hivyo utaweza kupata pesa mingi zaidi, mazao yatazidi na kila mkulima basi atakuwa anapata pesa. Wacha niseme ya kwamba in the year 2024, long and short rains, the government's projections or commitment is to avail to the tune of 7 million bags to our Kenyan farmers, because we want this fertilizer available to our farmers, because we must be able to give back and appreciate the goodwill that we have seen from our farmers, and I must also thank our farmers profusely for coming out to support the government's cost towards reducing cost of living. We are telling our farmers, please, by the time we are getting to mid-February, there will be sufficient fertilizer now for the second planting season that we are getting into. So please make sure you are able to be able to visit our NCPB stores and other stores that we are using for you to be able to access fertilizer. It's also important to tell the KTDA farmers that the fertilizer that we are flagging off here today, by Monday or this weekend, this fertilizer will be in our tea buying centers. So those that have registered themselves for fertilizer, please don't waste time. Let's celebrate Christmas by making sure that our stores in our villages, in our homes, have the fertilizer required, so that we are able to really take full advantage of the good rains that the Lord has been able to give us.
Now in Kisii County Commissioner Tom Anjera has assured the county residents of their safety during this festive season, noting that no one will be allowed to break the law. Now, Anjera said that the Kisii County Security Committee has put in place necessary measures that will ensure no crimes will be committed during this season, and called on drivers to observe traffic rules to avoid endangering the lives of Kenyans.
Kama mnavyofahamu, tumeingia msimu wa sikukuu na familia, jamii zote zinajitayarisha kufanya sikukuu, na sisi kama maafisa wa usalama tunawajibika pakubwa sana. Ningependa kupeana hakikisho kwa wakazi wa Kisii kwamba kamati ya usalama ya kaunti ya Kisii imeketi na imeweka mikakati ya kutosha kuhakikisha kwamba wananchi wanakuwa na sikukuu ambayo ni ya amani, sikukuu ambayo haina visa vya uhalifu hata kidogo. Tumekubaliana pia kama kamati ya kwamba zile timu ziko kwa sub county zikiwa zimeongozwa na deputy county commissioners, vile vile zitaweka vikao ulinzi wa doria ikiendeshwa mchana na usiku, na wale ambao wananchi wanataka kufanya usafiri pia tumesema kwamba zile sako zinahusika na mambo ya matatu ziendeshe magari kwa utaratibu, kusikue mambo ya kuendesha abiria kwa spidi ya kasi, na wananchi wasibebwe kama mzigo wakati huu wa nini. Tuko na mawasiliano na idara ya NTSA kuhakikisha kwamba speed ambayo imekubalika kila sehemu ya barabarani katika kaunti hii na hata zile kaunti jirani inatekelezwa. Katika kamati hii pia tuna habari ya kwamba kuna baadhi ya viongozi wamekuwa wakiishi kwa hofu kupitia kwa vitisho, na kwamba kuna baadhi ya viongozi wa kisiasa ambao wanatumia, kwa Kiingereza tunasema goons, vijana magaidi wao, kuwakimbiza na kuwafanya maisha yao yasiwe kwa ya amani. Tumefungua a special desk ofisi ya DCI na County Police Commander. Tunataka kuhimiza hawa viongozi na hata mwananchi wa kawaida ule anaona anatishiwa aende andikishe kwenye kituo cha police station.
Well, that right there marks the end of EBN News at 1 with me, Sami Adikam. Well, Belinda William will be right back at exactly 7 p.m. to make sure you're up to date with matters making headlines, especially the arrest of Najib Balala alongside other suspects in the 8.5 billion scandal related to the construction of the proposed Ronald Ngala Utalii College in Vipingo. Well, remember, this comes barely a few weeks after the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission raised the issue. Now we are seeing that they are acting, and they will be launching investigations into that specific corruption allegation until we wait to see what the courts will decide with regards to some of the evidence that will be provided, or rather presented, to direct the course of that specific case. Well, do have a wonderful afternoon.